and it's something that I notice quite often when I'm in the water, like I'm always thinking about it, and it's flickering at depth. G'day crew, my name's Luke and you're watching our spearfishing tip series. I'm going to put my shades on because it is bright as. Feel free to join me for a beer if it's not, 7 in the morning where you are, or you can do that, it doesn't bother me. This episode is going to be something that I haven't talked about a lot, and it's something that I notice quite often when I'm in the water, like I'm always thinking about it, and it's flickering at depth. Our New Zealand water is quite often green, hazy. Even when it's really clean, you get a haze. Most of the time, even if when it turns into a bluish hue, you might get a hazy sort of 15-meter visibility. And obviously when you're down at depth, if you're a fish or whatever, particularly a snapper, and you're looking up, as you know, when you're ascending, viz is really good looking upward, but looking downward through that haze and glare, it's quite limited. So when you're looking for snapper and stuff like that, you're always sort of bearing in mind the what's below you, because when I first started spearing, I was like, just get in the water and just go swim out around deep water, doesn't matter, get in on a reef, go straight out to the boil ups and stuff like that, or into the pressure point. But now I'm always like thinking if there's any snapper or any good species sort of a bit deeper, they're going to look up and see you straight away, and they're not going to hang around. But it brings me back to the point of flickering at depth. Now what you're looking for is little bait fish that are hanging out and using other fish for cleaning, and it's really common. If you're down and you look at kingies, or if you look at even pori and stuff like that, bronzies, sharks, the koheru and schools of bait are always rubbing up against these fish and flickering on their sides. When they rub, they sort of bounce off on their sides, and it creates a flash when the sunlight bounces off it. And so when you're looking down at depth, you're swimming along a reef and you've got your eyes down into the abyss, and you see like a flicker, that can give you a really good indication of what's going on down there. For example, a lot of my shark sightings, I know that they're there, and I know that I can dive and film one because I'm seeing almost like, say if you're looking straight down, we're looking straight down, flickering around the nose and flank sort of area. So you can tell by the amount of flickers and roughly the shape that that's a bronzy down there, because of the size and how far apart they are. Now if you're seeing one or two flickers, when you're looking, quite often that'll be, you might have, I don't know, I've had it from dory, pori and snapper as well. Snapper, like big snapper, can quite often have pilot bait fish with them, and they'll be in an area and then they'll cruise over and attach themselves to the snapper, and they'll end up causing a bit of commotion off the sides of it. So when you're seeing 2 or 3 fish flickering down at depth, it always for me pays to go, oh shit, there might be something good there, back away and figuring out how to approach and making a dive. If it's directly below you and you don't have any cover, that's when you tuck the gun in and just glide down, because if it's deep enough, if it's sort of 15 meters or something like that, you've noticed the flickering from the surface and there's a snapper there, that fish may not have even looked up and seen you from that kind of depth. So then if you can come down and try to get onto the blind side, then you might get a shot away. So yeah, I just thought that's something that I never really talk about it, but I notice that I'm doing it all the time. So yeah, I just thought maybe that might help some new guys out with like locating fish from distance where you can't see, and I'd say that you can identify a fish twice as far with a flicker, rather than, because you might dive down to 7 or 8 meters and still not see the snapper, and then get closer and closer, and then it materializes. But that flickering of bait allowed you to see the fish from a lot much further away. So yeah, so I hope you got some info out of that. If you have any questions or there's something you want me to talk about, put it in the comments, and feel free to subscribe for more of these videos, and just get at me if you guys want me to talk about anything else. Cheers.